Associates at Keller Williams, and I have my guest today, Melanie Wagner.
Hey, David.
Thanks for joining me. Melanie is the Development Director for the Meals on Wheels of Anderson.
Yes.
So tell us about, I know most people probably know what Meals on Wheels is, but if I lived under a rock and didn't know what Meals on Wheels is, what do you do?
Well, so Meals on Wheels, as an organization, delivers the hot lunchtime meal Monday through Friday to homebound seniors and disabled. We call them our neighbors, and we serve all of Anderson County.
Fantastic. How many people do you serve?
So we right now are serving 650 people a day, but I will mention, David, that we do have an extensive wait list. So there's more who want and need to be served in our area.
How do you cook 600 meals?
Well, if you ever have an opportunity to come do a tour, we are actually in an old middle school. I believe originally it was high school.
It was my middle school.
Well, it was your middle school.
Yes, for 6th and 7th grade, you're in the old McCants Middle School.
We sure are on Fant Street. And so we are very fortunate to have a kitchen that is able to maintain and make that many meals, but we are bursting at the seams.
Yeah, I ate many a meal from that cafeteria. McCants moved to the old high school.
Yes.
When I was in the 8th grade, yeah. So I went there with all the asbestos and the roaches.
Well, you know what? Let's hope that's all been taken care of now.
All been taken out of.
For the record.
It has been. I shouldn't probably say that with food service. But yes,
and you had those, did y'all eat those little pizzas? Is that
we did.
All the good stuff?
We did. Well, how did you get to working with Meals on Wheels?
Oh, wow. It's such a great story. I was very fortunate for 21 years to be able to stay home with my children. And then when my oldest were in college and my younger two were in high school, my husband said I had to go back to work. But at that point, all during my children's growing up years, we tried to instill in them the importance of giving back and volunteering. So we volunteered at so many different wonderful places. But Meals on Wheels was one of our favorites. So actually, I was a volunteer there.
Okay.
And Laurie approached me about helping with some of their fundraising when Jeannie Harris was leaving. Love her so much. And she actually helped create the development department at Meals on Wheels. And so she was able to hand over all the foundation that she had laid. And that was in 2019. And I kind of took it from there.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, how large is the staff at Meals on Wheels here in Anderson?
So our full-time staff is 11.
Okay.
We also have part-time staff in the kitchen and a few part-time drivers, and that takes us to about 26.
Oh, terrific.
Yeah.
Well, now, if I'm interested in volunteering for Meals on Wheels, how can I volunteer?
So it's a fairly easy process. If you would like to be involved, you can just reach out to our volunteer coordinator, Grace Ammons. And you can call her. You can also visit our website, which is AndersonCountyMealsOnWheels.org.
How large is Meals on Wheels nationally, or is it beyond the nation?
That's a great question. There is, I'm not sure beyond the United States of America, but there is a Meals on Wheels America. Okay. And we are actually a member of that organization. But like Laurie always says, if you've seen one Meals on Wheels, you've seen one Meals on Wheels. So we all operate a little differently, but most counties do have a Meals on Wheels homebound meal service in each area when you go visit. And I can't give you the exact number of how large it is, but I know it's big.
Oh, I know it's huge, because my great-grandfather, I remember when I was a child, got Meals on Wheels. It was wonderful. Fred Owen out in the Piercetown community. So that was my first contact with Meals on Wheels. I was probably 8 or 9, and I remember hearing about that and thought it was so wonderful.
Thank you.
And I know, owning Northgate Apartments, a lot of our senior residents would get Meals on Wheels.
Absolutely.
And it's just wonderful. So how is Meals on Wheels of Anderson different from, say, Meals on Wheels of Chicago or Los Angeles or Kalamazoo?
Well, I think what we like to think of that makes us special, and they may also offer this in other Chicago, Kalamazoo, Meals on Wheels, we like to provide the hot lunchtime meal, and we like to also lay eyes on our recipients. So when we go to the door, it's not just a knock and a leave. We make sure that they come to the door. The volunteer does that quick check. It may just be, "Good morning, Mr. Smith, how are you today?" And he'll say fine and take the meal and go. Or he might sit for a minute and linger and want to talk a little bit about his day. We love to say that we like to celebrate our recipients. We celebrate their birthdays. They always get a
that's
gift.
terrific.
We have volunteers in the area who donate gifts that we can give.
Oh, that's terrific.
So we feel like that sets us apart, because I think it's really important that I'm not popping a frozen meal into a microwave, that I'm getting that hot meal and that cold milk and a side of fruit, and I think that's what makes us special.
Well, it may be the only meal they have, and some people, if they're shut in, it might be the only contact they have with a real person.
Absolutely.
And it's a wellness check, because you don't know if that person, if their family's passed. That's a wonderful service just beyond the meal. So that's wonderful. Well, tell us how, I know you're originally from Texas, Louisiana. So tell us, how did you get to Upstate South Carolina?
Oh my gosh, and I don't think I've ever got a chance to tell this story. So my dad, bless his heart, worked in the refinery business all his whole career. He went back to college when he was 31. And I was born in the middle of that, so I think I was a surprise. And so anyway, all throughout my childhood, my dad traveled a lot, because that business does take you everywhere. And at some point in the mid-'80s, he came home and told my mom he had been offered a job in Greenville, South Carolina. Well, I didn't know anything about Upstate, and you can imagine in Louisiana and Texas, where I lived, it was very flat and very humid and very hot. So I literally remember at 14 moving to Greenville, South Carolina, and thinking I had made it to heaven. Like, it was so beautiful.
The rolling
mountains
hills
and
the
yes.
trees.
Yes, so it's been home ever since, and that's been almost a lifetime, really.
It sure has been. So if somebody was looking to move here from, say, the West Coast or Texas or Louisiana, what would you tell them sets the Upstate, Greenville, and Anderson apart? What's the number one thing?
Wow, when David asked me and said he was going to mention this, I said I was going to tell y'all not to come, but I'm kidding. We would love to have you.
Fastest growing state in the nation right now per capita.
It is the fastest growing, but I will say in the upstate of South Carolina especially, and really our sweet town of Anderson, there's just so much to offer. You're 4 hours from the coast. You're an hour from beautiful mountains you can hike. The weather is seasonal, which I think a lot of times people give up when they go to Florida or somewhere like that. It's summertime all the time. So gosh, if I were to probably pick anywhere on the map, it would be right here. It's just beautiful. Cost of living is still a little bit lower than other places. Close to medical care, and couldn't recommend it enough.
It's
really
wonderful. It's a wonderful place. I have so many people that will call me, and they've moved from New England to Florida, and then they've decided, well, they don't like not having any seasons, and it's too crowded, so we call them the halfbacks, because they move halfback.
Exactly.
And because they love the four seasons, and it's such a friendly place. Well, if you need a volunteer opportunity, call Melanie at Meals on Wheels. And Melanie, thank you for being my guest.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me today.
I loved having you. And again, I'm your realtor, David Locke, with Locke & Key Associates at Keller Williams, Western Upstate.